Hey YouTube, this is Aisha, Grell and Be Gone. I hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to stop by and share some thoughts on things that I had discovered recently, and wanted to share a few things that I've been going through and dealing with here lately. A couple good things are going on down for the numbers. 116.4 as of yesterday, 28 weeks post-op. And I went from being 355 pounds to 238 as of yesterday. And so I'm really thrilled about that. I'm so looking forward to when the scale says 220s so I can do my official countdown to Wonderland. But let's see what else is going on. I started C to 5K. This is week 2, day 2 that I completed this morning, and that was great. And I'm looking forward to, Lord willing, being able to run a 5K in, I guess I'm going to be doing it in 7 weeks because the program is 9 weeks, so I'm in the middle of week 2. So if you don't know what C to 5K is, Google it. So many of the other weight loss surgery people have done C to 5K. And one of my dreams had been to be able to run. And if you looked at any of my previous videos, there was a video that I made way in the beginning, and I had a vision board, and there was a cover of the Runner's Magazine on there. And that Runner's Magazine cover was taken from a 2007 Runner's Magazine that I had purchased, because back then I was doing Weight Watchers, and I just had these big dreams that I was going to run. And so the C to 5K program gets you going in that direction. So like I said, if you don't know what C to 5K is, Google it. I am 100% committed. My goal is that I don't have to repeat any of the weeks. And so on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I still do my normal elliptical, and I do some weights and stuff at home, but then I do the program, the C to 5K. And so it's going to be interesting. I'm excited, and just trying to make sure I breathe and stay loose, and I'm running on a treadmill, so just trying to build up my stamina. So those are a couple of things that I'm excited about. I put a picture on Facebook the other day. It was a comparison from January. I was down at Bandit Wendy's loft, and she grabbed a picture of me on the elliptical, and I told her I wanted to do a do-over. But I didn't get to do it at her place, but I had a trip to Bally's on Monday with my stepsister, and she grabbed the picture of me on the elliptical, so I was able to put a side-by-side of me from 5 months later, or January till May 30th, and to see my progress. And I am pro fitness, and so if you're a pre-op or you're new to the weight loss surgery community, make sure that in those early days you're trying to take some time to try to figure out what is it that you're going to do for fitness, because it is 100% important to this road that we're all on. I actually brought along tonight a copy of the Obesity Help magazine, and this Obesity Help is the one that came in our goodie bag, or our swag bag, from our Vegas trip. And the other day I actually opened it and started perusing the articles, and I came across an article, and this is kind of what I've been dealing with here lately. I came across an article by a lady, Tracy Baker. It's page 50, and it's called A Three-Legged Stool. And she mentions in this article, she says for her, bariatric surgery is like a three-legged stool. The top of the stool is bariatric surgery. The 3 legs consist of eating habits, exercise, and support. And that, just like I was saying, when you're new into this path, this journey, make sure you're taking time to figure out what is it that you're going to do. And I started out with step aerobics and walking on the treadmill. And one day I was like, okay, I'm going to try the elliptical. And I started out with like 3 minutes and just dying. And just last week, I think it was, I did 45 minutes and 30 seconds on the elliptical. And I like the elliptical. I like the changes that I see happening in my body. But we all have to find something. And I'm sure that I'll do some other things, like I'll do step aerobics again. I'll definitely swim. I have on my list of things to do, to take a spinning class, to take a yoga class. And so I just have my heart open to all kinds of things. But right now, my big goal is to be able to become a runner. My biggest dream is to be able to put on my sneakers, walk out of my house, and just start running, like going on my jog. And so we'll get there. One day at a time, we'll get there. So what had been on my mind, and one of the things that I struggled with in the beginning, was watching people talk about, oh, well, one day you'll be able to eat a piece of cake again, or surely you can have, chips or cookies again one day. And I just sort of had my head set on, well, no, I need to turn away from that lifestyle. I mean, I know who I was pre-op. I know how I could consume when I wanted to consume. And part of what I've learned over this last 28 weeks is I had food addiction that I'm coming out of slowly but surely. And so when I picked up this Obesity Help magazine and reading this article by this Tracy Baker lady, she talked about something so true to me, and I finally found, just someone else saying it in a way that I could understand. And so she said, I don't have the mentality of eating everything in moderation because I am a food addict. There's no moderation for me, so I just don't go there. She says, I'm very aware of my trigger foods. I have learned that I am powerless over food. If any of my trigger foods are in my house, my old friend, Handful Harry, will sneak out and I will consume those items by the handful until I'm miserable. And this section of this article just resonated with me because I know inside of myself there are things that I just can't go there because I don't trust that I will eat them in moderation. I've watched myself, even with like sugar-free chocolate. Russell Stover's is a brand that makes some incredible sugar-free chocolate that you wouldn't even think it was sugar-free. And I've seen myself go through the bag. And I'm like, this is why I can't buy this stuff. I think, getting on this journey to weight loss surgery and spending so much time trying to undo old habits, for me, I had to come to grips with the fact that there is a serious food addiction that can be triggered in me if I'm not careful. And there are things that there's just not, there just won't be moderation. And I think we have to come to a place where we really understand ourselves on this journey early out so that we can build better habits for the future. And be honest with ourselves. Am I a food addict? Is it just that I ate late at night? Is it just that I like junk food too much? Like, what is it that drove you to the point where you were so heavy that you needed weight loss surgery? And perhaps you're not a food addict, but you had some other issues. And so, we get through these things with the help of support, friends, counseling, being honest with ourselves, journaling, whatever it takes. But more about this journey than getting skinny or to go weight, to me, what I'm learning should be, what is it that caused me to be what I was? And let me make sure I correct that so that I don't ever get back to that place. And then I think about also so many people that I watch their videos and they're just like, the carb monster is back and I'm back to my old habits and I'm regaining. I should have never, bit that first cookie. And I see these things that break my heart. And then when these different temptations come up in my life, I'm like, I would be a fool if I ignore the wisdom that people who have gone before me, who perhaps have veered off the straight and narrow and found themselves in regain or sad because they can't stop eating carbs or whatever the case may be, if I don't listen to their example, I'm a fool. And that's what I'm trying to hold on to. Number one, to listen to those examples, to recognize that food addict is the label that is placed on me, if I'm being honest with myself, and to stay present. I think about how I failed in the past on other diets. I didn't stay present. I'd be on a diet 30 days, be excited, maybe I lost 10 pounds, and now it's time to go sit up somewhere and eat a big hot meal and laughing and, let's go out for dessert and everything else. But now I'm just trying to stay present. And one of the things I was so proud of this week, we have my stepsisters here from Michigan, and we've been doing things, went to the Natural History Museum, put a lot of stuff on Facebook. And we went to one of the famous delis here in Southern California, Jerry's Deli, today. And I knew ahead of time, I looked at the internet, what's on the menu. I was like, I'm going to get a salad. And I put in my purse a packet of salmon. And Jerry's Deli sells big mountains of food, sandwiches and fries, and they had that at the table today. And I had the lady bring me just a side salad and had her add some cheese to it and onion and all that. And I opened up my pack of salmon right there at the table and dumped it on that salad. And so my bill was minimal, and I was totally in control of what I was eating. And I think that I saw in myself that I was alert, I was awake, and I was present. Like, I didn't want to go into the situation knowing that Jerry's Deli has some of the best desserts and best sandwiches and fries and all kind of stuff. The menu has, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred items on it or something crazy. And I was just like, I'm not going in there. I already have this history with restaurants. And I'm maturing in this journey now, that I can go in a restaurant and be stable-minded, if you will. But I was so proud of myself, my behavior today, that it was just like, it's not even going to be a big deal. I'm going to get my salad, put my salmon on top of it, and be done with it. So the point of all that is, if you're wondering and weary and trying to figure out, what's going on, oops, my cell phone is ringing. I think that we have to constantly evaluate, constantly wonder, not wonder, but evaluate our progress, our thoughts, our goals, seeing a bigger picture, learning from other people who perhaps have slipped and fallen, or who are conquering all the hurdles. Like, we should be constantly looking and learning, and that's what YouTube is about, the support and stuff. So anyways, for those of us who went to Vegas and had the swag bag, if you haven't taken a chance, take a moment and looked at your Obesity Help magazine, look who's on the cover. Great article in here on that. Great story with Connie and Rosemary. And then there are other articles, and Obesity Help is another good resource, the magazine. And so take a look at it if you have it. If you don't, you can always order their magazine. But this article and this story by this woman that talked about how she clearly knows her mentality cannot be moderation. Some things she just can't. And I'm totally in 100% agreement with that. For some of us, there are some things we just can't go there. If we don't want to fail, then we won't go there. So anyway, everybody, I will see you soon, and have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.